this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today I'm talking about the 369 manifestation method. That's right. Today we are talking about this. I've heard about this quite a lot from people that watch TikTok videos and that sort of thing. And I'm kind of like, okay, I haven't really heard about this one, but I'm interested. I'll do a little research. And I had many clients like send me videos on this, like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And oh my gosh, this person manifested whatever it is. And I'm like, okay. And I was really kind of interested to find out because they really talked first about Nikola Tesla and kind of like, and what he thought the numbers 369 were. And, they were powerful numbers, they were manifesting numbers. And I thought, well, yeah, okay. Tell me how. So I did some research into it, and it's one of those, I think Nikola Tesla always believed that these were divine numbers and kind of keys to unlocking the universe. Well, apparently someone has put those into manifestation. And I guarantee you, if you did this, it should work for you because of what I'm going to explain next. So really what it is putting your energy in what you desire. So kind of the number 3 represents the connection to our source, our universe, and kind of like the creative expression. The 6 is all about like inner strength and harmony, and kind of like getting on our path. The 9 represents serving us and changing us into who we want to become. So I was like, oh, that's really interesting. I was like, okay, I kind of like that. But a lot of people have kind of put this into a very interesting way. And I thought it was interesting because they're always talking about like just wanting to manifest. And what they're talking about is just kind of like manifesting like large sums of money. They just started doing the action. I'm going to explain it in a second. And kind of like manifesting large sums of money. And I was like, wow, that's really interesting. Interesting. Okay. So, one of the things is kind of like what you're supposed to do is now that you're supposed to put like these 369 numbers into action. And so what they say is to write down your affirmation 3 times every morning. And then write down your affirmation 6 times during the afternoon. Okay. And then write down that affirmation 9 times before you go to bed. Keeping this in mind, kind of the manifesting part of it, kind of like writing down your affirmation statements. I think it's kind of interesting because a lot of people were talking about like they just got this handed to them or something happened to them or they got a new job or whatever else. And I thought it was really interesting because one of the things that's really important in all of this is, first off, you're keeping your affirmations, what you desire to bring into your life. You're keeping it in front of you because you write it 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times before you go to sleep at bed. So I was like, I really think that's great. Now, I would also say some of this is kind of interesting because there should be an action behind all of this. So I would assume that like if you wrote down your affirmations 3 times in the morning, it's kind of on your mind. And so you may be kind of thinking about that when you get on the internet, or you may be searching like, how can I just get free money? Or how can I do this? That action is going to get you the money. Writing the affirmations down 6 times in the afternoon is going to remind you to write down those affirmations, and hopefully that is kind of spurring you in the sides of what do I require doing to bring in this money? What is it that I require doing? Whatever it is that you try to bring into you is really amazing. And there has to be an action behind it. There has to be some type of action. I would say if you're writing it down 9 times before you go to sleep at night, this is really about putting those words like and thoughts into your brain, and kind of like maybe even hopefully thinking like, what should I do next? Or where should I look for the next answer? Where should I go into this next? What should I do to manifest what I desire? Because I think that's really the important part of all of this is like, what is it that you want to desire? And hopefully you'll be getting opportunities like as you do your research of where to go to get the money, or what you should do, or whatever it is. One of the people I was talking to, one of my clients that were talking about doing this, they were talking about getting money for a new business. And I was like, okay. So they started, like, they figured out what they require to open this business. And I said, okay. And they were like $10,000 and I should be able to start this business and kind of get going. Okay, that's a great number. And when we kind of talked every couple of days to just kind of like touch base with me and just kind of see how this is going. And they tried this 369 method. So in the morning they did it, and before they took their shower in the morning, and then in the shower they were talking about like, as I'm showering and getting ready for my day, I'm thinking like, wow, how am I going to manifest this money? How is it going to find me? And so they started getting into action about all of this. And usually by noon or so, they were doing a search, they were doing other information and kind of like that sort of thing. And they were actually able to, I would say in a very short period of time, in probably about 3 weeks, able to manifest their $10,000. Now, it's not that someone just showed up on their doorstep and handed it to them. What happened is that they were doing enough research online that they found a company that will help you start up your business. And all you have to do is write a business plan and that sort of thing. And so they did that, took it to them, had a couple of interviews with them, and they wrote them a $10,000 check. Now, of course, you can't just spend that money. You have to go and do something with that money. But this was kind of like their first step. So then they went back to their 369 affirmation statements, and they started writing like, I need to find this space, or I need to do this, or I need to buy this equipment. And they started doing that. And they were doing the same thing. They were writing 3 in the morning before they jumped in the shower. And usually they were telling me like by 10 or 11 o'clock, they were already looking online. They found another company was going out of business that they could purchase their items really cheaply and stuff like that. And so very, very quickly you were able to manifest. But all of this, writing this down or keeping this in front of you, is all about keeping it in front of you so it motivates you and activates you to get into action about this and start moving forward and start kind of really bringing this into you, because your action is going to draw this into you faster than anything else. I think that's amazing. So if you ever try this 369 method, please let me know how it worked for you. And kind of really, I guess the part that really is interesting for me is kind of what is it, what did it, I don't want to say like what it manifest, but what actions did it cause you to go into that you may not have gone into otherwise? What were those actions? How did it motivate you to do something different in your life? How did that happen for you? Because I think that's the really interesting part, is to have that turn into actions and have those actions turn into something else. So this one is the Scorpion, and this is all about investigating. Doing investigation when you're thinking about starting a business is amazing. Doing your investigations. What do you need to do to start a business in your city or in your county? Kind of what is it that you've got to do next is a really important action. But you've got to do your investigative work first. So kind of like, what do I need to do? Where do I need to go? What needs to happen with that so that you can start manifesting what you desire. This is the sign Cancer, and this is all about immerse. This is all about immersing yourself into what you're doing. And that's what I really think this 369 method does, is really immerse you into thinking about what you desire to bring into you over and over again so that it does manifest for you. This one is Mercury, and this is all about messages. And I think that's what happens. When my client was telling me about it, he said that literally he wrote it down 3 times, and then he went in and took a shower, and the messages were already starting to flow like, you should go here, you should look this up, or look up the county and kind of what did they say. And so he was already getting those messages and kind of moving his energy much more forward than he had been before. This is the sun and this is the source, because you have to kind of figure out what is required for you to do this, and that opens it up so the source of all energy can bring that into you really fast. This is depleted, and this is all about discomfort. And I think it's one of those, if you're not happy where you're at, your discomfort should kind of move you into that area. If you're not happy with how much you're making now or what you're doing now, that should motivate you into action. I don't like my job now, and so I want to change it. Or I'm so uncomfortable where I'm at, I've got to make some changes. This one is solar calm, and this is about clarifying what is supposed to come up next for you. Kind of what is that you're supposed to do? What is it that you're supposed to be in action about? That's the important part. Be in action and kind of get that clarity. Where do I need to go to file this paperwork? Or what do I need to do? How much do I owe to pay this part of it, or whatever it is? So you are in clarity. You are really clear about what your next steps are. This is Aquarius, and this is all about the collaborate. And this is kind of getting online with everybody else. Or sometimes there are different blog posts from people that you can kind of collaborate with them, or even friends that have their own business, and asking them kind of, how did you start your business, or how did you do this part of it? And that's the interesting part. The next one is Leo, and this is all about the shine. And I would say this really comes in for a lot of people of, we really want to kind of just like make this like, almost like boom, it's done, kind of like bring that in really fast. But there's a lot of things that take action, and we have to be in action to be able to bring this in. If we want to shine in what we're doing and really understand it, we have got to be in action to draw that energy to us. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.